Hello and welcome to this EVE Online guide where we are talking about how to learn PvP as a PvE player. Today we are going to specifically talk about combat boosters and target selection. Both of these should be done prior to engaging in combat, and therefore we can talk about them both in the same video. Combat boosters are one use only, limited time stat boosts. We have different combat boosters for different things. Some give you more capacitor, some give you more armor or shield repair rate, some give you better tracking or missile explosion. The main thing to know with boosters is that they are, for the most part, tied to your clone. So once you activate them, they are on your clone. If your clone dies, the boosters are lost. There are also a couple of skills that can enhance boosters, and these are worth investing in if you're going to be using boosters. And they are all found within neural enhancement, the main ones being biology, which increases the duration of boosters. When it's maxed out level 5, you will have a 100% boost to the duration. That will increase most boosters from 30 minutes to 1 hour. And then the other two skills are neurotoxin control and neurotoxin recovery. Most boosters have the chance of rolling a negative effect. There are a potential 4 negatives, and each one gets its own separate roll. So if you are extremely unlucky, you will get all 4 negatives, but this is a really low chance. In most situations, you are either going to roll with 0 negative or with 1 at the most. The neurotoxin control and recovery will reduce the chance of a negative rolling and will also reduce the effect of the negative if it does roll. So all 3 skills are definitely worth investing in if you're going to start to use boosters. And that leads us to the question of, should you use boosters? The simple answer is, if you can afford them, yes. They are giving you stats. They are improving your ship, improving your character. If you are not using boosters, you are missing out in resource that other people are using. So in the world of PvP, where you are fighting to the death, this could make the difference between a win or a loss. So we're going to use combat boosters in this video. We are using the original 4 frigates, although I have ever so slightly tweaked the fits. There will be a new EVE Workbench link, and within the link is going to be the boosters that I recommend as a starting player getting used to boosters. Obviously you can change them if you want, and that goes the same with the fits. Obviously these are just fits that I've put together to try and make it quick and simple and easy, but if you want to swap them around, you can do. So if we look at the Executioner as an example, on all 4 ships, the only module I have changed is the Warp Disruptor. We did have an Enduring, which gave us slightly more capacitor. We have swapped that out to a Faint Scoped, which gives us an extra 2 kilometers on our scramble range. And then in all of the cargo, there are 3 boosters. There is a Agency Overclocker, just the SB3, which is the lowest version of Overclocker. This is a really cost-effective booster. It's going to give you 3% additional velocity, and it only costs about 200,000. It's really cost-effective. The other 2 are a standard booster depending on the ship. Now, all of the standard boosters have this potential negative effect, and that's where your skills are gonna help. And that's all there is to boosters. The only advice I can give you is when and how to use them. It's not difficult, but what I like to do is if we are out in space, I've got my active ship open or your cargo hold open. Before we engage, I will pre-select the boosters that I want to use. I can then move around. I can click on the overview. I can click warp, align to, right click, go to wherever, and these stay pre-selected. And then as soon as I want to use the boosters, all I need to do is right click on one of the 3 boosters and it says consume in brackets 3. So that's telling me the 3 boosters that I have pre-selected, it's going to use all 3 at once. Now, if you decide to use your own boosters, the only other thing that you need to consider is each booster takes up a different slot. So if we have a look at just one as an example, you can see here at the bottom, booster slot 11. Each booster takes a specific slot. You can't use a single slot twice. So just make sure when you're planning out what boosters to use, they're all on individual slots for your clone. And that gets us onto target selection. Target selection is going to change over time. It's going to change depending on your skills, your ship, the environment you're in. Where you're actively hunting or engaging in PvP. Is it a random low-sec system? Is it a factional warfare system? You're out in a wormhole, null-sec, wherever you may be. Target selection is something that you're going to have to be adaptive with and something that you're going to learn over time. Now, some of you may have a really good knowledge of what ships are out there, what they are good at, what they are weak at, and that is obviously going to help you. If you are relatively new to the game or you have limited experience with the vast array of different ships that are out there, there is a quick, simple way that we can get a good idea of if a ship is going to be a good target or not. And we will go over that. So I have 4 ships ready to go, 1 of each faction, so the Executioner, the Condor, the Atron, the Slasher. We're going to take all 4 ships out in this video, get straight into combat. We're going to use drugs on each ship and hopefully get some good PvP engagements. So let's do this. One thing we want to always do, as I've said in the previous videos, is we want to do our little quick safety checks first. So are we in a clean clone? Go to the characters sheet. Augmentations, yes, we are in a clean clone. Do we have enough ammo? So we do. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention with the ship fits. We have improved the standard or the most used ammo up to faction. So along with the boosters and the faction ammo, we are going to be putting out more DPS. And last thing we need to do when we get outside is make sure we are on safety yellow. So let's see if we can find us some targets. So safety yellow, this is a new ship, so I need to obviously group all my weapons, load my ammo, get my modules where I want them to be, and then we are good to go, ready to go hunting. I need, like I say, my active ship open. I'll move this over here out of the way, and I'm going to pre-select my boosters. Okay, let's get local open so we can see who is out here. Okay, fair amount of people. No one is actually out at the moment, so let's set get our waypoints up, see if we can find someone. And obviously I'll just skip ahead till we find a target. Oh, we've just done a full loop back to Heidelise, and we haven't found anyone. Right, we've got some people here. So, here's a fairly good example of an easy way to check if a ship is going to be a good target or not. Now, you might know exactly what all of these ships do. You might have no idea. So, you can very easily just right click show info, and it's going to give you a breakdown of what this ship is good at. So Retribution, it's a Tech 2 frigate. You know, that's going to be much more powerful than we are, being Tech 2, so that is a poor target for us to go for. We have a Mastodon, which is a hauler, so we'll ignore that. Vigil fleet issue. Let's have a look at this. Rockets, explosion velocity and damage. But then this here at the bottom, it gets a 50% bonus to Weber fire range. So that means a normal web is going to reach out to 15. If it's got a faction web, it's going to go out to what would that go out to a faction web? Go out to like almost 20 km. So that's a really bad choice for us, because we are a scram kite. Being webbed is going to really impact our ship's performance. And then what else have we got? Last one, Fed Navy something. Fed Navy Comet. Tracking and damage. Obviously this is a Tech 1. Sorry, this is a faction frigate. What we could also do is go to simulate, and this is going to give us an idea of the slots. It's got 15 drones. It's as we've already checked, it's getting a significant bonus, 20% per level to damage, so 100% bonus to its damage. So although it's only got 2 turrets, it's effectively 4. So this is high damage ship. Its speed, we could throw on a micro warp drive, and just have a look. What's its speed at? 3,350 there or thereabouts. And we know our speed is 3,400, so we're ever so slightly faster than it, depending on how to fit. So we could try to attack this, but that's still going to be a hard fight, with it being a faction frigate. Now we can take out faction destroyers, but that depends on which ship. So let's see. Oh, we've got a Wolf. That's a new one that's just popped up. Again, Tech 2. That's just gonna absolutely melt us a Tech 2 ship. So even if we have no idea of what the ship is, we've never seen it before, we can go into the show info, and we can have a look at that. If you really wanted to, you could also go to the likes of Zkillboard and do a search on a particular ship in a particular area and get an idea of what the fits are like. Okay, so all these are poor target choices for us, so we're going to move on, see if we can find anything else. So ideally I'm looking for a regular T1 frigate, a regular T1 destroyer, or potentially a faction destroyer, depending on which it is.